Okay, Kelly, thank you so much for coming on Drawn Together.
Thank you for having me.
It's such a long time coming.
It is.
Today we're gonna be drawing, we're actually gonna both be drawing something different.
Okay.
Maybe, or maybe not.
Oh,
It's
okay.
interpretive. We're gonna be drawing, you're gonna pick a coworker of the day. Okay, I've never done this before. I'm gonna pick either someone who you like a lot, could be someone who's pissing you off a lot, who comes to mind of like, today, like they're, you know what I mean?
Okay. All right.
You can interpret that, and then you'll explain why.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna offend this person, but they can deal with it.
So you've had quite the week.
Oh my God, I've had quite the week.
And I want everyone to know I scheduled this before you had quite the week, so I'm not trying to capitalize on anyone's pain.
You're not clout chasing.
I'm not clout chasing.
And everybody knows that, and I appreciate that from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a crazy week, but it's all in the day in the life, girl. You know how it is.
Yeah, are you doing well?
When I have waves of internet hate, which is often, it depends on what's going on. If it's hate because of something that I've said, and if I feel good about what I've said, the hate doesn't really affect me. And it's always like repetitive and dumb. So I kind of am like, okay, whatever. Like whatever you say, it's like I've heard it 1,000 times. The only time that I start getting really upset is if someone's trying to create or twist my words into something that's inaccurate. Then I lose my shit.
I mean, Dave is like your biggest fan.
Apparently,
also.
This week, sometimes he's my biggest fan, and sometimes I'm not even sure. I feel like I'm gonna get fired. But
does he follow you on Twitter?
No, he unfollowed me. I don't know when he unfollowed me exactly. I also don't know if he knows he unfollowed me, but I unfollowed him back because I'm not gonna. If you don't follow me, I'm not gonna follow you.
Of course.
So we don't follow each other, which is.
And
now
that's
kind of
fine.
funny.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're almost like a couple that broke up, but you're still tweeting about each other.
Yeah,
but you're
yeah.
I won't follow you.
Exactly.
What has your relationship with Dave been like since the start? Has it changed? What's your vibe with him?
I would say it goes in waves. I've never been afraid to talk to Dave.
Okay.
And I feel like he does see where I'm coming from all the time. The worst time in our relationship was when he had to cancel Taylor Watch because we were making copyright mistakes.
Yeah.
And that was a phone call that made me sick. I was really upset. we're yelling at each other on the phone. It wasn't a good.
You were yelling at each other?
Yeah, well, he was yelling. He'll always be yelling, and that's just his thing. And I'm cool with that as well. And I can yell back or not take it too hard. But when he's in the middle of canceling the show and being like, I'm gonna have to fire you, then I start getting upset. And there was a point where if I get really upset, I'll start crying. And there was a point where I was crying a little and he was like, oh, don't be fucking crying. And if I'm not crying, then I'm yelling. So it's I pick one or the other. So I just started yelling and then it was fine. And I said, you gotta figure this out. And then we hung up the phone.
Oh.
And that was that.
Are you still president of the New York office?
I am, I think, because we never really set terms as to when that was going to end. Is it traditional, after 4 years?
Do you have a vice president?
I can't remember if I elected one.
No.
I think I offered it to Tommy and he declined, but I did beat him in the presidency. So that was a big shining moment for me. I love any time I can beat Tommy at something because he's so fucking smug about everything all the time.
So if you died, who would replace you then? Do you have someone that you would
that's
to
a really
pass
good
the
point.
baton to?
Who I think I would trust is Clemmer. I think Clemmer is annoying enough, and also, people just kind of do what he says. I think that's a funny thing about Clemmer is
you think people do what he says?
Yeah, kinda. He's hey,
Really?
I'm doing this thing, be here at this time. Everybody does Rat Race. They could have told him to shove it, but they don't.
Clemmer's honestly the best. Clemmer, I
have a good time
I
with
would
Clemmer.
say I am not close friends is not the right word, but out of people in the office, I trust Clemmer. I could have a long talk with Clemmer.
For sure.
We play the New York Times Scrabble game together all the time.
Doesn't he call you a total fucking idiot every day?
He's mean to me, and it is kind of when you think
hey.
about it, my 46-year-old male coworker
Yeah.
is being mean to me at work. It's not okay.
Right,
really.
It doesn't sound amazing.
No, but it's
listen,
so funny.
I feel like he's also very older brother vibe. I am the oldest in my family and I have a younger brother.
Same.
So I don't know what it's like to have an older sibling, but I imagine it would be how Clemmer acts.
I always wanted an older brother.
He is an older brother, so I think that makes sense
But
too.
I always wanted an older brother because I thought older brothers would beat people up for you. Clemmer would never.
Oh, never.
Imagine
Maybe a
someone comes in
massacre
here
of
and
words.
disrespects.
No. Oh yeah, who's standing up, you think, if someone comes in here and starts disrespecting us? Do you think everybody's gonna have our back now? You think we're close enough with everybody?
Probably. I've been here for less than a year. You've been here for 25 million.
Exactly.
So people might stand up for you. I don't know if
True.
I think.
True, people love standing up for me.
I don't know
That's
who
the
would
thing.
stand up.
I think the girls would stand up. before
Oh,
the guys.
of course.
And the guys would be like, I don't want to get involved, and all the girls would be like, let me roll up my sleeves, you know?
Definitely.
Which I appreciate about the girls here. We ride or die.
We do. I don't know. I'd like to think all of them would. I don't know if that's the case. What were you doing before Barstool?
Before Barstool, I worked in publishing. So I worked at the New Yorker magazine, and I worked at V magazine. And so New Yorker was more, it had a lot of politics involved. It had a lot of like think pieces, New York City stuff. And then V was all fashion stuff, which I loved. I loved doing fashion stuff.
So how did you get started at Barstool? I think I know this story, but I want to hear it, and I want people to hear it that don't know, because I think it's a good story.
It goes back a lot further, I think, than people realize. But when I was in college, I was like a Twitter girl, you know. But at that time, I graduated college in 2013. So at that time, Twitter was like, it was everything. It was the center of the universe, and certainly the center of Barstool's universe. And I was friendly with Kevin, and I had met John before, and I knew a couple of the people and would like interact with them online, but that was basically it. And then I was coming home from a bachelorette party in 2014, and I had live tweeted a couple breaking up on a plane, and it went like, you know, super viral, especially for the time. It was like before things go viral every day. Like now it's like you can tweet something today and it'll get 1 million views, you know?
Yeah.
Back then it wasn't really like that. So it was a big deal, and it got picked up by all these like news outlets. I'm talking to the New York Post on the phone, like it was overwhelming a little bit. And Kevin Clancy helped me kind of manage that to keep it rolling in a way that wasn't gonna like get me in trouble. Like I couldn't keep posting photos of these people because they didn't.
Oh, you were posting photos?
I posted a pic of them on the plane, but they like without their faces. Like their faces weren't in it. It was just like them from the side. So he was just kind of helping me navigate it. And then after that, his brother actually, Brendan Clancy, told me that it would be good if I tried to start a podcast, because I did want to do a podcast, and he helped me get that all set up. And so I had Wine with Kelly was my pod for a while, and I did that for a long time, like on the side, a few years while I had these other jobs. And so once Barstool moved to New York, then they like had me as a fill-in all the time. So I was always on Mail Time. I would fill in for Rhea and Fran on Chicks in the Office sometimes. They had Sirius XM at the time. So I went on, like if one of them was sick, I would fill in. It just kind of went on, this relationship stayed. I always had like a regular full-time job that had nothing to do with Barstool. It kind of felt like I'd have like this Barstool world, and then I'd have like the real world. And it'd be like fashion and news and culture, and like my friends were like hot and bitchy and whatever.
Yeah, you were like sophisticated.
Yeah, and then on this side, I'm
like
like fake laughing at fart jokes every day. I was going to be full-time around that time. Kevin and I remember having a phone conversation right before they brought Asa Akira on for KFC Radio. She ended up being the third chair, but when Dan left to start Part of My Take, they were gonna maybe put me in. I remember Kevin calling me and being like, it's just not the right time. I remember being like so disappointed, but because I thought, I was like, finally after like 5 years, maybe I'm gonna be in there full time.
Yeah.
And it was like so poppin', like Chernin had just invested, I think, like I forget all the stipulations of everything at the time,
days.
but yeah, it was like, you know, the other office, and it was just a really cool thing. Then it ended up not working out, and so I just kind of stayed friends of the program for a long time. And then during COVID, I got laid off of my other job, and I was like, hey, listen, I got laid off. Like, I'll help, do whatever. Pitched Cutting Stems, which is a Bachelor reaction show. It was me, Rhea, Fran, and Trent. I got hired part-time to do that. And then January of 2021 is when they were starting to do Barstool Survivor Season 1. And they wanted me on that, and that's when they hired me full-time.
What do you think about Nikki Smokes using ChatGPT to write his blogs?
Oh my God, that's brain dead. I'm sorry. Like if you can't think for Oona, let me pop off about AI for a second.
I like Nikki Smokes, let me preface.
No, I love Nikki. I love Nikki Smokes. I genuinely do. I am not somebody who's like, oh, I think he's a good heart and a good soul. Yes, very much. Yes, but that's not to say that he's not a fucking idiot because he's using ChatGPT to write his blogs. Like,
I hate that move too.
Part of the fun of working at Barstool is that you get to be creative. You get to exercise those muscles in your brain that make you unique and make you interesting. And if you're just feeding it into a robot that spits out what you want to hear and what you think is good, that completely takes away from your own talents. So like, maybe he's not a good blogger, that doesn't mean that he has to like use ChatGPT to make it seem like he is.
Okay, last question. advice for me at Barstool.
Ooh, advice for you.
Advice for me, please.
Honestly, I kind of think you're crushing. Like you're involved in a lot of good things. I think you try really hard to like stay in the mix. I think that's important. That probably would have been my advice is to like try to stay in the mix without pissing people off. I feel like everybody's
Have I pissed anyone
no,
off?
not that I know of.
Okay.
But the family vibe, like I know that people are touchy about saying that with Barstool, but the family vibe about The Office, I think is like true, where sometimes you love hanging out with everybody here and sometimes you're like, enough, I'm sick of these people.
Yeah.
And it's like towing that line with people and understanding when they've like had enough, not necessarily of you, but like of being on or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's important to know, and that just comes with like time and getting to know people.
Yeah.
I really think that that's like the most important thing at Barstool is like getting to know the people that you work with, because how else can you have good chemistry and create good content if you like can't even talk with someone outside of that instance? Like I know a lot of the videos we'll do, it'll be like, oh, it's fun when they're fighting, it's fun when they're angry, but you only feel comfortable fighting with someone like that, and it makes it good content when it's not so tense. And if you like really hate someone and you don't know them and you're arguing back and forth, then it's awkward. Like I've been in a few of those instances where I'm arguing with someone and I legitimately hate their fucking guts, and it's not good content. Like it just it feels like gross. Tate, of course. Tate's like number one who comes to mind.
Do you still hate him?
I'll hate him for the rest of my life, yeah.
So do you have your drawing of your employee of the day?
Yeah, I do.
Employee of the week,
and I'm thinking you might have the same employee. Like I really think we might be on par with each other.
Really?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Because we were kind of talking about it.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Who's that with those? Who is that?
This is Jackie. Look
Oh my god, of course.
Jackie brought me brownies this morning.
Wait,
so
that's
Jackie's
so
my employee of the day.
cute. That's a really good drawing. Mine's Rico.
I can tell. I can hear the outfit from here.
Today.
You gotta start.
Yeah, exactly, like him, yes.
Rico's wearing this,
Switching
let me
down the
explain.
hallway.
Rico's wearing this loud ass fucking outfit today.
Yeah, he's wearing a big tracksuit. High noon can here, and he's got a mop over here, and he's on the basketball court.
That's good.
That's decent, right?
That's good, yeah. All right, Kelly, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. What a crazy
excited.
combo. I hope that it's not annoying. Now I'll stress about if I've annoyed everybody by being honest.
Who have you annoyed?
Hopefully.
I don't think you said anything crazy.
No, I don't think so.